Dada 5000, incredible fight night here in Jacksonville, BYB 27, and a couple of upsets there in the main event, the co-main event. How did you assess the fight night?
Well, styles make fights. These guys, they come out there with a strategy to go out there and execute and put on the best fight of their lives. Certain things don't go as planned. You're inside the mighty Trigon. That's a beast within itself. Plus, you have, the fight fans. So it's kind of hard to stick to your game plan. I think the real fans, the fans that was out here were the real winners. A lot of these individuals, they get out there and they think their cardio is what it is, until they get dragged into the later rounds. They think that they're tough until they get hit inside the face. That's what makes bare knuckle fighting the most exciting sport on the planet.
And this was the first show tonight since the big announcement of the merger yesterday. BKB becomes BYB as well.
Yes.
So how excited are you about the future of the sport right now with BYB being global?
Super excited because at the end of the day, I've always been a visionary. So that's what kept my drive, my passion, going inside of the backyard. And I sit back and I say to myself, hey, listen, never give up, always push, and eventually individuals will join, the journey, and thank, Mike Vasquez for believing inside the vision, and it's because of two individuals that everybody that's a part of BYB is here right now, and that's because of Dada 5000 and Mike Vasquez. We built a superstar-studded group of superheroes, that can identify the task, and we're gonna take this thing to heights unimaginable.
Now, a matchup is being made that is one of the best matchups you could possibly make in bare knuckle. Barry Jones against LT Smash Nelson. What do you think of that matchup in Wales?
Those are two superpowers. Just think of, Captain America fighting Superman, or Flash, fighting, Batman. So I mean, it's a fight fan's dream. Both of these guys are warriors. Both of these guys are machines. They could take a licking and keep on ticking.
And we just heard there might be some news with Dada not only going over there, but Dada also being inside the Trigon.
100%, I train every day. I'm a force to be reckoned with. I never lost a step. I feel like, I got one more round left. And when you talk about one more round, envision Rocky, right? When you look at Mick, when Rocky was down, he said, "Get up, you son of a I didn't hear no bell." That's what I heard, so I'm back to give him hell.
So you're a legend in the fight game, not only as a fighter, but also here building BYB. But every time you see those nights, is it itching in your knuckles still?
100%. That's why I can still get out there and individuals be like, well, Dada, why should you do it? Because you don't understand. When you're an athlete, when you're a competitor, it's not like it's a light switch that you can click on and off. No. You know what I'm saying? When you get that itch, you gotta scratch it. You just hope that there's somebody in the front of you that's up for the task.
Now we got a lot of fights coming up. New Orleans is next, and then there's some other fight cards. We had some guests here from Europe. They probably already are looking also for fights being lined up, those English guys. So can you give us some other gems right now? What's happening in the future?
Well, listen, we're looking, to continue, the U.S., Atlantic, tradition, bringing the best from BKB and the best of BYB, even though we've merged it, to give the fight fans a real treat. Right now, we just finished out an awesome, card. I always say this, every fight will be a finish. Nothing in the mighty Trigon ring is gonna go the distance. When it comes to bare knuckle, at BYB Extreme, we make the weekends. And you know what though, we almost went 7 for 7, but one fight went to a decision. But at the end of the day, it was a barn burner, so nobody was disappointed. So it's like to answer your question, we're in Jacksonville tonight. Next month, which is July, we're gonna be in New Orleans. Then the next month, which is August, we're gonna be in Miami. Then you have September, we're gonna be in Colorado. Man, then we have Georgia, on the ticket. We have Wales on the ticket. We're just cooking. We're just moving on all 8 cylinders. When it comes to bare knuckle news, nobody beats us to the punch.
Mike Vasquez, what a show tonight. The first show actually since the big announcement yesterday of the merger. BKB becomes BYB, so BYB is completely global right now. How do you feel right now with that prospect and also that show tonight?
Well, very proud, very happy with seeing the progress. Literally, we started in the backyard. We were backyard brawls, and to see the evolution over the course of the last 3 years of our own development, where we are now and where we project and plan on being in the near future, with the acquisition now with over 200 of the world's best bare knuckle fighters under contract and venues around the USA, venues around Europe, we're really excited about the future.
How is this merger and this acquisition basically going to also affect schedules and different fight cards and events?
Well, we're now all under one banner. It's all BYB. So whereas before, when we had the relationship with BKB, and we wanted to do a fight, there was, tug of war a little bit about, hey, is it going to be in the Trigon or is it going to be in the regular ring or, so forth. So eliminating that, putting everything under one banner, very excited about that. The fighter base that we've developed now, we have Barry Jones fighting LT in Wales. That's our first show after. Well, of course, we have 2 shows here in the United States, and then we launch BYB in Europe.
Now, of course, BKB has their title holders,
Yep.
BYB their title holders. Sometimes there might be 2 title holders at the same time. Sometimes there might be one in one
Right.
organization, not in the other. So how is BYB going to deal with all those titles and maybe, getting, at the end of the day, getting one title holder?
Right. Well, the first thing we needed to do was change their weights from the stones and to the weights that we have them, right? So we calibrated where their champions lied. If we have a champion and they didn't at that weight, our champion continues being the champion. If they had a champion in a weight and we didn't, they automatically become our champion at that weight. And in the situations where there's a champion on their side and a champion on our side in the same weight division, our champion remains champion, their champion becomes first contender, and instant unification bout. So it's been thought out. It's not easy. It's not something that's done every day. So we work through it as best as possible, to be as fair as possible to the existing champs and let them know you're going to have an immediate title shot.
So incredible matchups are going to be possible. One of those matchups is going to be LT Smash Nelson facing Barry Jones over in Wales.
Yep.
How much are you looking forward to that fight? It might be one of the biggest fights that you could possibly make in bare knuckle.
I'm extremely excited. I mean, Barry Jones is, stud, the GOAT. Everybody recognizes him. He's got boxing talent, but he also has power. So he can box, he can brawl. There was rumor that he was retiring, not retiring, after his last fight. So we were very happy that he came back and is going to face LT, which is the fight I think everybody's, LT went through 3 British champions and now is a 2 division champion for us. So, what's the ultimate test? I think it's Barry Jones, and Barry Jones excited to try to clean house, take care of LT for his friends that had fought LT in the past and make his country and his organization, former organization, proud as well. So it's going to be a war. I'm extremely excited. That's a fight that I'm excited to be there. I'm going to be in Wales probably a week early, just meeting with the team and everything else, but I can't wait for that fight.
Barry Jones and some of the other British fighters who have never fought for BYB and in the Trigon, some have. Do you think there might be a little bit of adjustment for them until they get used to the new rule set and also the Trigon?
Yeah, well, Barry has fought in the Trigon twice. He beat in Hard Rock, I think it was BYB 6 or something, or maybe a little further back. But he has fought in the Trigon here, and when we did our London show, he fought and he defeated Tommy Turner. So he's got that experience. Again, he can brawl or he can box. On the other guys they're going to be coming up together. They're going to be coming up even, right? So we're not going to send our guys right away to fight, their guys. So their guys are going to be learning to clinch together, or fighting and developing themselves as well. So it's going to be an even playing field,
How do you feel this acquisition will positively influence the future of the sport, the new developments, new markets for BYB?
Well, not only have we unified the companies, but we've unified our fan bases. And BKB has a long tradition, many years, not only throughout the UK, but throughout the world. They've got a big fan base over in Asia as well. And we've been developing our fan base in the States and as well in the UK and through our international fighters. But now we have fighters from 6 continents. I don't know how many countries. They told me the other day, but it was like a few dozen countries. We're excited to see that continued growth. we're gonna see more events next year, right? We're doing one a month here. They're doing they do pretty much half a dozen shows or so a year. So we're gonna continue to ramp that up, and potentially, eventually, as we continue to develop, there'll be a show perhaps every other week between here and there, just to fill the year with bare knuckle action.
Now let's talk about tonight's fight card. Some incredible fights, some
Yep.
wars, especially the main event and the co-main event.
Surprising, yeah. I mean, both. I wouldn't have imagined the co-main event would have gone the distance. Really, I thought those two guys were out, head hunting, and it was a war, like you said. And the main event, I talked to McQueen after. I was very, very, proud that he went up those two weight divisions, and he was doing a great job. But you got to celebrate when the fight's over. You got to play by the rules. You got to break when the referee breaks. And I think he made a critical mistake in allowing his opponent to recover, right? That extra time that Wayne Spinola took to talk to him, to talk to the corner, that let his opponent recover. And he should have let them take the 8 count and then pounce back on and maybe walk away with a victory. So hopefully it's something he can learn from, and all the other fighters can learn from. Take care of business, then you can have a good time.
There were also a lot of European fighters, or some European fighters over,
Yep.
and looking at some opponents.
Yep.
Do you already have fights lined up for all of those guys?
Yeah, pretty much. Canelli's going to be in fighting in Louisiana next month on July 13th in New Orleans. So he'll be back. Scott McHugh, I think we have him lined up at the Whale Show, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll be alternating. We're going to continue bringing some of their guys over here and some of our guys over there. So that'll continue to go on. They love coming here, and our guys love going over there. So all our fighters, we tell them, make sure you have your passport, and if you don't have it, start getting it, because it takes a few months nowadays. It's not as quick as it used to be.
How about matchmaking now? Who's calling the shots? How are you going to set up all those fights right now?
Mel Valenzuela does an excellent job for us. I mean, outstanding job for us. And Jim Freeman's done an outstanding job for BKB. They're working together to identify fighters, to identify the fights that the fans want to see, and always put up the best 50-50 fight. So it's, Barry and LT. That's a fight that everybody's talked about, rumored, but we weren't able to put it together before joining, and it's the first thing we did as soon as we did, so we're all excited about that one.
Let's preview the fight card in New Orleans.
Well, the main event, and I'd have to catch up with Mel because there's so many things, and we're already like 6 fights ahead is what we're building. But the main event is something we're really excited about. Ike against Gustavo. Ike being our champion. He's a brick wall. He's a force of nature, the hurricane. And you have Gustavo, the assassin, who's, just very sharp and powerful. So it's going to be an interesting fight. That's one that I'm looking forward to. This is Mike Vasquez with Bare Knuckle News, and no one beats us to the punch.